Today we will create this really cool UFO photo manipulation. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun episode. Today we will have a lot of fun playing with this really cool, nice UFO abduction scene. So you will learn a lot of interesting tips, tricks and techniques that you can later implement in your own work, in your own projects. So without further ado, let's jump straight into Photoshop and let the fun begin. Alright guys, we're here in Photoshop and almost as usual we will start with blank piece of document, and the aspect ratio that I choose for this project is 4:5 with two reasons. First, because 4:5 is the ideal format for Instagram. Probably I'll put this photo there. And another reason why I choose the vertical format is because I want to have that vertical space between UFO and the ground down below. So that's it. Now let me show you some photos that we will use for this project. First photo is actually a photo of myself. I shot myself here in the studio. Then I actually extracted myself out of the background to save the time for this tutorial. Then we have just a clear sky with the stars. Then we have a UFO and some gas station, and that's it. Those are only photos that we will use for this project, and also we will use some custom brushes, and that's it. So let's start with our creation. First, what I like to do, I like to go right here and to copy this UFO and to paste it back to our document, and probably I have it somewhere here or maybe down below, probably somewhere there. Now let's go and grab myself. I will just copy myself right there. And let's rename it. First, this is me. I will name it model because it's easier for you to understand. Then I will name this UFO. And I want to change the background. I don't like this quite bright white color. So I will just go with the new solid color adjustment layer and just choose or black or a little bit, for a start, a little bit of darker grayish. Okay, we can change it later. Now I will make the model or myself a little bit smaller, but because I'm not exactly sure how big or how small I want to be, I will create a smart object out of this layer so that I will have later option to make it bigger or smaller without losing an image quality. So to do that, just go on the layer, right click, convert to smart object, and that's it. Now you can play with this however you want. You can press Ctrl or Command T and make it small like that, and then if you change your mind you can make it bigger again without losing image quality because it's now contained in the smart object. That's really cool. So I will press Ctrl Command T, make it smaller. So I don't know how small I want to be. Let's bring the model right there. So I need to fit through this hole. I will make myself, let me see, like this. If I can fit like this, that's cool. Woohoo! Okay, this is cool. Maybe just tiny bigger. And for now, I will make myself small like this. This is really cool. And also I will put somewhere here. Probably I want just a little bit bigger, because now I'm really tiny. So we can decide later. That's cool about smart objects. And now what I like to do, I like to create those light beams from the UFO. So I will create a new layer. I will name it beam number 1, and I will just go and grab rectangular marquee tool and just make a selection how the beam will look like. So probably something like that. That's completely up to you guys. Now I'll choose a brush, then press and hold Alt Option key to sample the color, and then by holding Alt or Option just with the backspace, fill this selection. That's cool. Now I will deselect, press Ctrl Command D, and I can nudge this with the arrows left or right to center it like that. And also I can center everything to the center of the document by selecting all the layers, and by having selected my move tool, just press this. So now everything is selected, everything is centered. And now let's create another beam. I will create a new layer, name it beam number 2, not O2 but just 2. Okay, and I will repeat the same procedure, but this time I want this beam to be a little bit wider, probably something like this, and the same length, like that, same color. That's cool, but with that difference that I will put it below the first one and lower the opacity a lot, something like that. Okay, this is just for you to understand what I want to create. I want to create those light beams. I want to make impression that this UFO is picking me up from the ground, and that's basically it. So now let's continue playing with these beams. I will hide beam number 1 and go to beam number 2, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and blur it a lot. So probably something like this. Press OK. And also I want to narrow this. So I'm now in transform tool and just want to narrow this a little bit like that. Maybe this side a little bit more. Okay. So this is it. I can always bring back the opacity, but for now this is really cool. Now we will actually create several different light beams using a custom smoke dust cloud brush that I created a long time ago. So in case you don't know how to create your own custom smoke dust cloud brush, you can watch my tutorial about that on a link right here, or you can purchase my set of cloud dust smoke brushes on my website. You have the link down there in the description. The price is just $1, so it's up to you. So let me show you how I will do that. I will create another layer, so I will name it beam number 3, okay, and then I will go and use one of my custom cloud dust brushes, and this is how it looks. This is how the dust brush looks, and I will populate with this, something like that, just to have those imperfections in the beam. I don't like those like really sharp laser cut beams. I like to have those kind of imperfections. And also I will choose some darker color, darker bluish color, probably like this, and then I will make everything darker and make some smoke right there. And now it's time to make everything darker, so that's why I like this adjustment solid color adjustment layer, because I can change the color really easily. So not completely black, but some variation of gray, like dark gray. Okay, let's go back here and just paint this. This is really cool. Now let me just see, I just want to add a little bit more here. This is cool. Now let's create another beam layer and name it beam number 4. And this is cool with these custom smoke brushes, dust brushes, because every time you create this effect, every time you create this photo, all over again you will have completely different effect, because it's random. So you cannot paint exactly the same every time. So now let's choose white color. So I will press D on a keyboard and just switch to white color, and just make maybe even smaller brush, and just by pressing hold and press shift I will make a straight line like that. So I can do that several times, and then I will create a spotlight down below on the ground to make impression that actually there is a ground first, and then the second that beam is creating like a real spotlight down on the ground. So something like this, and actually the spotlight here will look almost like a straight line. So something like this. Okay, and now everything is a matter of playing with these brushes. So I can select darker blue color like this, and then switch between white and blue and just blend this a little bit better. And we can do that later too, but for now this is really cool. So and also I want to have impression that the dust is coming off the ground because of this really strong beam light. So this is one, and let me I want to unzoom it and zoom it back to see, maybe I will leave it like that. So let's choose some bluish color and then add here too. Okay, this is cool. Just add some kind of gradient of light here and there. Then again, white color, and just do this. Okay. And now I can create another beam layer, beam number 5. And then play again with the brushes. Let's switch the brush. Let's use this one, number 3. So let me see. This one is cool too. So I can use this one with 10% opacity and maybe a little bit wider. Something like that is cool. Maybe I can change the color to something like this. I will sample this color and do that. I will put it below everything, actually below beam number 4. Okay, this is cool. And also I can create another one. Let's rename it beam number 6, and choose another brush, this one, so you can see different brush, different effect. I will use a white color, and with maybe 10% opacity. I just want to add, not too much here, but from here, I just want to make this beam even brighter, especially the part that is coming and hitting me right there. Okay, for now, this is really cool. Let me just see how this looks. Not bad. For now, this is really cool. Now I need to make myself blended with that beam. I need to make the impression that I'm actually inside that beam. So this is really, really simple, guys. It's same with the water. It's same here with the beam. One really cool trick is just to lower the opacity. So if I lower the opacity, not of the beam, but of the model, you will see I'm inside the beam. That's it. But I will not lower it all over like that, maybe around 60 or so percent for now, and then create the mask. And with this, again, cloud dust brush with the black color, I will just make some parts like they're more inside the beam. So I'm lowering the opacity of this even more. Let's use another brush. Let's use this one, 10% opacity, and just play with this. So you will see now when, see, like it's even more in the beam. So what I can do right now, I can create a new curves adjustment layer, clip it to affect only the model, make everything brighter. Okay, the model brighter. That's cool, but I will use a regular brush finally, regular soft brush, and I will use black color and just paint some part darker, like this, maybe 30% opacity, and just paint the back darker. So let me see. Yes, I just want to remove, and the head here, just want to remove this curves effect and the shoes just a little bit back on the black. Okay, and this looks pretty decent right now. So let me see before and after this. Maybe I can just blur this mask, because I will have more uniform blended look. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just not too much, but let me see, something like this. Okay, and also I can play with the regular brush and just on the mask with the black color, actually with the white color, I will just remove some parts that I don't want to be like in the beam. So here, like this is really, really cool. Okay, and maybe with 10% opacity. Really soft, yes, it's soft brush, something like that. So this looks really, really nice for now. Also, guys, let's hide this. Also, now it's time to add some more elements. So let's go and find the gas station. Where it is, it's right here. I will just copy it. Okay, and paste it all the way down below. And this is it. It's really big and it's completely different color, but doesn't matter. We will make it to look like it's a part of the scene. So now you need to choose about the size, and you need to choose actually the position, probably something like that. And now let me show you one really cool trick. Before that, I just want to select model and the curves adjustment layer and move everything a little bit more up here. Let me show you one really cool trick, how to blend this seamlessly with the background. You don't need to cut anything out. You don't need to play with the colors. You don't need to do anything. There's only one really simple trick, and that's to put this gas station in a screen blending mode and play with the levels. So let's do it. Let's go to a screen. It's almost the same, but now because it's in the screen and I'm adding levels, when I boost the blacks, all the dark parts of this photo will be completely invisible. In case you're not familiar with the blending modes in Photoshop, you can watch my tutorial about all the blending modes explained on the link right here. So let's go back on the photo and just move this black slider until the background becomes invisible. So this is it. You can see how easy it is. I will put it right there. Then I will go to gas station, put the layer mask, and just with a really nice soft round brush, I will just, with the black color and maybe 40% opacity, just blend those edges. I don't want sharp edges, and actually I don't like this light. I will completely remove it, and this is it, guys. Like no effort at all. So now I will just move it left and right to position it where I want this to be. Something like this looks cool. And also I see that I have this thing, and that's because I made a mistake. I didn't lock the mask and layer, and now I made a mistake. You can see I moved the layer and I didn't move the mask. So I can just move the mask a little bit up, no problem at all. Or I can delete everything and just draw again, but I don't want to do that. I just made it really good. And this looks really, really nice. Let me just see one more time. Yeah, I really like it. So now it's everything up to you, how we want this smoke to look. If you want to add even more smoke, if you want to colorize it a little bit more, if you want to expand it or even make it like higher, that's completely up to your creativity and your feel for this photo. I will do another cool thing. I will add some particles that are flying down from the UFO. You will see I will use my custom made rain brush. In case you don't know how to do that, I have a full tutorial dedicated to custom made rain brush. You can watch it on a link right here. And now I will just use it. Also, you can go to my website and purchase a set of my rain brushes. You have the link down there in the description. So let's create a new layer. I will create a new layer here and rename particles. Okay, and I will use brush, right click and choose my, you can see my rain brushes. You have a lot of them. Again, you can purchase all of them on my website. So I will choose, I don't know, I will choose one of them. Yeah, this is cool. So white color, and just make it something like this. And with this, we can create really cool particles, or we can create some kind of rain, depends. Different brushes, different effects. So let me see if I choose this one. This one is not bad. Let's try several. Let's see which effect is better. This one is nice. Yes, I like this one. So I will use this one, and I just made these lines, and then I will go to filter, blur, and motion blur, and just 90 degrees. Okay, and blur it. Maybe less, maybe something like this is cool. Let me see. Yes, and I will create another one with another brush, so this one probably. Okay, and blur this again, filter, blur, motion blur, and this time I will blur it a little bit less, like that, and move it right here and lower the opacity, maybe like a lot, I'm not sure, something like that. Also, if I don't like some of these, I can always delete them, so I can create a layer mask with a black soft brush, 100% opacity. I can just delete particles that I don't like. Maybe I think they're too much. So this is really, really cool. Okay, now we will play a little bit with the UFO. We will change the contrast. We will add some glow on these UFO lights, and clean some things here and there, and almost finalize the image. So let's do it. Let's go right there. As you can see, I want first to clean these things. So these beams are cool, so I need to find which beam is hitting. Okay, it's not that, this one, number 4. So I will just create a layer mask and just clean this a little bit better. Then let's go to UFO. Actually, I can group all the beams, select everything, press Ctrl, Command G, and just name beams. Okay. And that's it. I have it like that. Then I can go to UFO, create a new, let me see, hue, saturation, adjustment layer, clip to affect only that, and I will colorize. So now I will play with the colors. So let's zoom it, and I will add some kind of bluish. We can make it darker, we can make it brighter, more saturated. A lot of things that we can do right here. So like that, and I will lower the opacity a little bit. So I just want to add those bluishness to the UFO, but not too much. So this is cool. And also I will create a new curves adjustment layer, clip it to affect only the UFO, and I will just put the blacks up. So make it like it's washed out a little bit, like the blacks are washed out, not too much, but just a touch before and after, just a little bit. Okay, and also I want to add some noise to the UFO. So create a new layer, clip it, name it noise, and fill it with the black. So because black is foreground color in this case, I will press Control on Windows, Command on the Mac with the backspace, and that's it. Now I will put it in a screen blending mode, so black will be invisible. And now I will go to Filter, Noise, and add noise. So let's zoom this a little bit. This is pretty decent. 7, yeah, that's okay. And also I can duplicate this noise layer by pressing Alt or Option key and just drag it above and clip it to affect only the beams. So this is really cool. I want noise, a little bit noise there. And also what I like to do before I mess with the glow of these lights, I want to add some kind of gradient on the background, because now it's completely black or dark gray and I don't like it. I will just go right there, click new layer, name it gradient. And I will choose some really dark blue color, so probably like that. And then go to gradient, and I can choose radial one. So let me show you if I unzoom it a little bit. Okay, this is okay-ish. Or I can choose a radial one. I need to choose the brightness properly, so depends, do I want radial or linear? This is cool. So maybe a little bit brighter. Let's choose a little bit brighter color and do it again. Yeah, this is better. So for now, this looks good. I will press Control Command T and just make everything bigger. A little bit more up, like that. And looks really nice. I will then populate this with a little bit more clouds. You will see later. So this is without it. I just want to add a little bit of that. I can also change the opacity. And then let's go to UFO. I will use Magic Wand tool, click on this, and also make sure to uncheck contiguous. So uncheck this and choose some tolerance, and it will select all the same color. Now I will create a new layer above everything right here. Name it glow and fill it with this color. So I need to sample this color and just fill it with that color. Okay, deselect, press Ctrl Command D, and now I will add some Gaussian blur to this, but I will convert the glow layer into Smart Object 2, because then I will have a smart filters, so I will have possibility to change between the values in Gaussian blur. You will see. Right click, convert to Smart Object, then filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and now I can add some kind of glow. So for example, like that. So if this is too much or too low, and in case that I didn't turn the glow layer into Smart Object with the smart filters, I would need to undo this and then apply it again, apply again this Gaussian blur, and to go back and forth between that. But now, because I have this as smart filters, I can just double click on it and just double click on it on the Gaussian blur text. Okay, and I can just play with this and choose the amount of glow that I want to apply to this image. So probably something like this, maybe a little bit more. 37, I think it's the magic number. Right guys, and now is the sponsor time. And because we don't have any sponsor for this episode, we will just continue with the tutorial. Okay, so the glow is added, everything is cool, before and after, I really love it. Now we can add some stars, so let's go and find the sky. Copy it, paste it all the way down. Let me see, all the way down here. Okay, and I want to make it bigger, just bigger stars. Okay, and I will put it in a screen. Do the same that I did with the gas station, so levels, clip it, and just remove everything until I see only the stars. That's cool, but also I don't want to see the stars in the lower part of the photo, so I will go and add a layer mask, use a gradient, black color, and just from here to here add some kind of gradient with the black color, not white. Okay, and I will definitely use a linear one, not radial, like this, and I'm getting rid of something like some stars, and I will also lower the opacity. I don't want to be so opaque, maybe more transparent. Just like that. Okay, now let's go back to the glow UFO and group everything and name it UFO. Okay, and now I want to go to the beams and just use my custom smoke cloud dust brush and add some more beams right there. So let's create a new layer. I don't know, this is beams number 7. Beam number 7. And let's use our custom brush like that. Maybe a little bit darker, like black, and add some variation here. Then, oops, this is too much. Then 10% probably. Just paint between black and, I will undo, definitely this is too much. So black is okay. Then really dark blue, like this, and then I will choose this blue with maybe 10% or even 5% opacity. Just add it right there, and then again black color, and just switch between black and okay, like that. Maybe this grayish color, maybe 10% opacity, just add a little bit more variation of the smoke. Okay, this is really cool. And also I can add some contrast on the UFO, so let's go right there about the UFO curves and just add a little bit contrast. Want to make it a little bit darker. So this looks cool. And guys, this is almost it. Now you can play with the beams, you can play with some variations. I can add another beam number 8. I will stop there. Number 8. And choose the brush, choose the color, just maybe some brighter color like this, and maybe 10%. Just play with it. Okay, something like this looks cool. And then I want to add white and completely make this even brighter. Like this, like it's spotlight over there. It's really cool. All right, so I will definitely stop here. There are a lot of things that you can still do here, tweak, add more elements, do whatever you want. But I will leave that up to you and your creativity and your imagination and also your skills. So this is a good way to practice, make it even further. And now I will merge everything together and do a final color correction, and we will finish with this project. So let's do it. Let's go all the way up right here. Press Shift Control Alt or Shift Command Option E on a Mac, merge everything into one layer. And now I will go filter, camera raw filter, my favorite way to color grade. And I will just play with some sliders here. So we'll add a little bit more contrast. Let me show you a really cool trick. I will add some haze. So as you can see, really nice haze. But then I will add some clarity too and lower the blacks. So this is really cool before and after. Just a little bit more punch to the image. So this is it. I can go to colors and just change blue to more like teal, almost like it. So then add a little bit more vignette if I like, and why not? Then I can sharpen it a little bit, and by holding Alt or Option key you will see what is going to be sharp. Everything that is white will be sharpened, everything that is black will not be affected, so probably somewhere here, radius. Okay, then I will go and add a little bit more color to the shadows. Okay, you can see it looks really cool. I can narrow it to be only to the darkest part of the image or like more to everywhere, but I will put it like this. And also you can add any color to the highlights. So maybe you want like red beam or whatever, green, if that's what you look for. So that's cool. But I will not mess with the highlights in this situation. So let me just see, maybe just to make the beams a little bit brighter, why not? So everything is allowed, everything is possible. This is cool, and for now I will stop. I will press OK, and then I will go and add even more details using a Nik Color FX Pro, a plugin that I use a lot in all my photo manipulations. you can Google it and install it in Photoshop. So here it is, filter, Nik Collections, Color Effects Pro. And here I will use several different filters and just blend them nicely together and we are done. So first, what I like to use a Pro Contrast. I like to use this dynamic contrast because it preserves the highlights and shadows. Like a regular contrast, it will blow everything away, but this will protect everything. So you can see a lot of bending here and there, but we will fix that, don't worry, with some noise. I like to add a film type noise here, so you will see later. So a little bit of dynamic contrast. I will press OK and wait for a few seconds for Photoshop to apply this filter to the layer. Okay, and now I will go again to filter, Color FX Pro, and apply another one. It's a detail extractor. So I will extract some details from the beam and the model right here. So detail extractor, don't go too much with this. I will boost the contrast and lower the detail extractor slider. Something like that. Okay. Again, wait for a few seconds for Photoshop to apply it. Okay, now I will press and hold Alt or Option key and click on a layer mask to create the black layer mask, and then with a really nice soft round brush, white color, maybe 30 or so percent opacity, I will just add the effect of that filter here. So before and after, just a subtle difference. I really like it, before and after. Then I will merge everything together into new layer, Shift Control Alt T or Shift Command Option in a Mac, and then go again, filter, Nik, Color FX Pro, and I will now add some really nice cool noise to blend everything nicely together, and that's it. So let's go to film grain, film noise. Okay, and as you can see, it's really nice. I will probably leave it like this, maybe lower the contrast. I don't like so big contrast here. So this is cool, and I will press OK and wait for a few seconds for Photoshop to apply it, and we are done. Okay, this is it. So I really love those small details with the noise and everything. It's merged all the pixels together, and I really like this kind of look. So this is it for this tutorial. This is before color grading. This is with the color grading. You can do again however you want. It's completely up to you, but I will stop here. And this is my version that I did before creating this tutorial. You can see it's a little bit different, but every time you create this kind of photo, it will be different because of different strokes that you create with this cloud brush, etc. So that's the beauty in all of this. Right, guys, this is finally it for this tutorial. I really hope that you like it and that you learn some really cool, new, interesting tips and tricks that you can later use in your own photo manipulations, in your own projects. And if you have any questions regarding to this episode, just leave it down there in the comment section below. I will be really glad to answer it. And also, guys, if you appreciate this content, if you like this episode, just press that like button down below, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and also ring that bell to get notified about all the future episodes. Also, guys, if you want to try 1 month completely for free the best music for YouTube, you can check the link down below and apply for 1 month completely free. And also I will benefit a little bit from this, so I will be grateful. Right, have fun, experiment, and see you guys in the next fun episode. Bye bye.